edition of Winners Get Money, episode number 7, season 3. What's up, you guys? I'm James Myers. We got my boy David Rahano. Say what's up, David.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, we're back for another episode. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. We appreciate it. And yeah, we're glad to be here. We're gonna introduce the show again, catch it on late. So hey, I get it. You got stuff coming up. Maybe you didn't like the other pod, didn't like what they were giving out. We got winners for you guys. Come on now. We believe in us. We got you. All right. Anyway, we're going to break down what happened in last week of college football as well as NFL. We'll talk about the big kind of things that stood out to us, like the main headlines. And then we'll recap our best bets from last week, how we did. We don't lie to you guys. We recap all our bets, what we did overall, and all that stuff. So, yeah, and then we'll do our best bets for week 11 college football and then week 10 NFL. And then we'll send you on your way. So we'll make it short and sweet, you guys. Gotcha. All right, anyway, jump into college football. Couple things. Stood out in week 10. Texas beats Vanderbilt. That was one of the top 25 matchups we had. And then Vanderbilt scored 21 unanswered. I don't know what number you got. Sorry if you had Texas minus 3.5. I did see some minus 3.5s out there. That's tough. We were on Texas. Anyway, we'll dive into that later. SMU beats Miami in overtime. Miami, they're on the outside now for sure, looking in. And then Oklahoma beats Tennessee. That was probably the other big win of the weekend. Anything else, or what did you give me your thoughts on those games or anything else that stood out to you? Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. Those were the big games of the week. We've had better, I guess, college football weekends. Just matchup wise. I think when we were looking at this too, before the season, they were showing like potentially like all the ranked. Could have been like SMU could have been ranked against Miami, and then it would have been I guess Oklahoma, Tennessee's probably the only one that kind of lived up to it. But yeah, not too much. The Texas game, yeah, scores pretty misleading to be honest.
Yeah.
SMU, good win for them. Sorry, Miami, like they were on the cusp of saying, oh, Miami's back, and they do this back to back week. So
yeah, horrible throw by Carson back.
Yeah,
anyway, good. Yeah,
yeah, tough break for them. And then Oklahoma, Tennessee. I mean, not really much to say there. We had Tennessee, but there's not much to say about that.
Yeah, we were on the wrong side of that for sure. Tennessee just couldn't get stops at all. Yeah, I don't know. Texas was up freaking like 24 points at one point in this game. Kind of misleading, like you said. I think Texas just kind of put the cruise control on and kind of let it go. Because Texas, literally, that first half, they did whatever they wanted. It just seemed like every single play they did, they got whatever they wanted. SMU, yeah, I mean, they were in the playoff last year. Same quarterback as last year. I mean, that coach, I can't think of his name, but doing a great job with SMU. I mean, when's last time like SMU's been relevant these past couple seasons? It's just they haven't been. So he's doing a fantastic job there. Again, Mario Cristobal can't win the big one for Miami. And then, yeah, Oklahoma beating Tennessee, like we recapped. Anyways, so yeah, those are kind of the big things that stood out. Overall, I am 10-9 in college football. We went 2-1 last week. We had Texas minus 2.5. We gave it out early. Tennessee minus 3 was a loss. And then we had the over 52 in the Texas Tech Kansas State game. We hit that pretty easily at the end. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, I will admit, but Texas Tech kind of turned it on, and Kansas State got a couple touchdowns to help it out and make it actually rather easy. And then David is 8-7 overall as well. He had the same. We both had the same plays for college. Yeah, so that's our NFL college recap of last week and our best bets. Let's do our best bets for week 11 college football. David, you start us off.
Yeah, I mean week 11 already, just like that.
Crazy.
This week, yeah, I mean. Another week where we didn't really see, a lot of there's a couple big matchups, but not anything that really kind of stood out. But we have Kentucky +3. They're at home against Florida. I mean, we kind of saw what Florida was last week, just the way they lost that game. It was a neutral site game too, right?
Jacksonville.
Going at Jacksonville, right? Yeah. So then
I guess it's very close to both schools.
I guess, right?
Yeah, so that's what they say. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this game's going to be at the Swamp. And I was like, oh, no, it's actually neutral. But, yeah, Florida's Florida. Lagway, you'll probably get into a little bit more, but
yeah.
Lagway's Lagway at this point, too. Mm-hmm. But on the Kentucky side, just came off they got a coach fired this weekend. They beat Auburn 10-3. Their defense has kind of kept them in a couple games here and there. So I just feel like Kentucky at home getting three. I mean, you could probably sprinkle the money line here, but I think Kentucky puts out a good effort here, and Florida just there's too many just question marks on their side. So I feel like Kentucky can, control Lagway and probably turn them over a couple times, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. I can't. +3, I mean, these teams are probably, if we're being real, like these teams are probably pretty close to each other. Florida just finds ways to lose games. I mean, we talked offline, like Lagway, I'm just over this guy. I like if I'm Florida, I'm looking at a different quarterback just to try maybe for next season to see what you got. This dude he finds ways to piss away games. He can't make the big throws ever. His footwork's awful. He can't. They had a guy wide open downfield, crucial point of the game, underthrows him, and then they went to the review. It was ruled incomplete, and just can't ever get it done. And the defense, like Florida's defense, is actually kind of solid, but they just get so worn out because either
They're on
Lagway
the
will turn the
field.
ball. Yep, they're on the field a bunch. Lagway will turn the ball over. So yeah, I just can't trust them anymore. I can't trust Lagway in these spots. And Florida was lucky to cover last week. I mean, did you? I don't know if you saw, but Gunnar Stockton, the QB for Georgia, just knees it at the one. He could have
Yeah,
walked
could have
in for
walked
the
it in.
touchdown.
Yeah,
Touchdown. So
would have been a bad beat if you had him, but
yeah, if you had Florida,
yeah,
but
just smart football, I guess, at
yeah,
that point. But a lot of people were not happy about that.
no. So yeah, it happens. But yeah, I'm with you on Kentucky at home +3, and Florida just hasn't shown they play well on the road at all this season. So as well, like they just don't show up when it matters, and I don't know. They could be just yeah, it's kind of coasting for the rest of the season. We'll see, but yeah, I'm with you on Kentucky.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
The
good.
last, just one more, like Kentucky at home did hang in there with Texas. They did not hang in there with Tennessee. Tennessee did, I mean, like 20, 56,
Mhm.
34. So Kentucky has the ability to put some points, but it was a Tennessee defense, which we were kind of agree, like it's not, the best. But if you kind of look at like the Texas game, then at home they'll put up a good effort.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's David's first play. Kentucky +3 versus Florida. My first play is going to be an over. Actually, we're going to go with the total. I'm going to go over 48. Texas A&M at Missouri. Yeah, I think both offenses have shown all season that they're capable of getting to this number. I don't see why Marcel Reed, the QB for A&M, can't. A&M's been a juggernaut on offense. I mean, they have been putting up points on anybody. Whoever they've played so far this season, they've put it up. Notre Dame's got a really good defense. I think they put up like 35 to 42 points. Like and we looked at weather. Weather's not an issue. Missouri can put up points. Missouri gives up a lot of points as well. I saw A&M go into LSU and put up 45 on LSU. I don't, unless I'm absolutely missing something here that I didn't look into, but I don't see how these two teams don't reach the over 48 here. And Missouri's more than capable as well of putting up points. So, A&M's been a little susceptible to giving up points, and they've been a little susceptible to some upsets. There's been a few games they've kind of skated by. I mean, Arkansas, they played, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? They won 45-42. So they can give up points to offenses. So I see them giving up points. I see Missouri giving up points. I, I kind of see a track meet. So we'll see. But yeah, over 48 here.
Yeah, I lean that way as well. It's not going to make my card of bets, but it'd probably be the fourth one on my list. But yeah, when we're looking at this game, A&M next week at home against South Carolina. No, there's no look ahead here. So you kind of look like, all right, it's a total of 48. Like, what am I missing? What am I missing? It usually would kind of make you lean like, all right, let me take the points with Missouri because the under is, where it's at. But in here, like, yeah, like you said, unless we're missing something, like this seems like it's gonna hit the over pretty not easily, but it's gonna hit over probably, mid fourth quarter here. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much else on this game.
Yeah.
Both teams can score, but
Two solid
yeah,
quarterbacks, too. It's good.
yeah,
Both have good quarterbacks. So I don't really, yeah, even if they turn the ball over, they'll have short fields to the offenses. So let's go next play. We're on the same side on this one. Start us off.
yeah. Texas Tech -10 at home against BYU. Probably the biggest game of the week. I mean, if
Yeah.
you want to throw that Bama LSU game, but I mean, this
This
is
one
usually
means more.
this one means a lot
Yeah.
more.
Mhm.
Uh, what's Texas Tech ranked right now?
think they're number 9 and
Number
BYU's number
nine.
8.
So it's top 10. Top 10. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say the top 10 matchup.
This might be for the
Um,
conference. Yeah.
yeah, it's right for the conference, like you said. But yeah, we like the -10 here. We understand BYU's eight in the nation, but they haven't really played anyone. We were going over their schedule and looking at it, and their best win is going to be that Utah game from a couple weeks back, where it was tight. I think you were saying Utah was missing,
They're
the
starting
starting
QB.
QB.
He's good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you look at BYU, it's like all right, Utah's their best win. Texas Tech, they went to Utah and beat them. They killed them in the second half.
Yeah.
So if you had just based off of just strength of schedules, Texas Tech they played more people. They I think they put I think better offense. I think the better overall team. And I just feel like if BYU's not that they're going to get exposed because it's not a sense of them getting exposed just because of what their schedule is. Like I mean, they're undefeated because they took care of business, but I just think Texas Tech is a step above here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I just think Texas Tech is actually a lot better team than BYU. I think Texas Tech's played a hard schedule so far. Like you said, BYU kind of got lucky to escape against Utah with the backup QB. This is the biggest game of the season, probably for both teams right now.
Yeah,
And we got student sections camping out. We got students camping out at Tuesday early in the week. I yeah, I think Texas Tech wins by 2 touchdowns here. Baron Morton already got a game under his belt after the injury against K-State. He looked comfortable at the end. Uh, so I think he'll be ready against this BYU defense. This is the biggest game. That QB, he wears like what, number 47? Retzloff, or I forgot his name, Retzloff or something like that.
number 47. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so weird. And this is gonna be the biggest moment of this kid's young career. He's young. Is he a freshman
I
or
want to
sophomore?
say he went freshman or sophomore.
Yeah, so I think this will be the biggest stage for him. I think the moment's going to be a little bit too bright. And I think Texas Tech's defense is going to take over this game. Their defense is legit. I mean, everyone knows who's been following this team. Best defense in the Big 12 by far. They spent the most money in the transfer portal through NIL, all that. So, I mean, Texas Tech is looking at a national, like, they're looking to compete for a national title. So is BYU, but I think this is too big of a spot. I think Texas Tech, I think they're going to jump on them fast, and they're just going to stay pedal to the metal here and cover the 10.
Yeah, and just taking a quick look at the standings in the Big 12.
Mhm.
BYU obviously 5-0 in conference. Texas Tech, the one loss, they're 5-1. They had
Arizona State, right?
I would say a little bit of a trap game, yeah, against Arizona
Yeah,
State,
they didn't have
where
Baron Morton.
they
Yeah,
haven't they ended up they're in that game late, and
yeah,
they just couldn't get it done.
yeah.
And then you have Cincinnati 5-1 too, but do we believe in Cincinnati like the
Yeah.
rest of the season? Like
They
no,
got
we feel like
smoked by Utah
yeah.
last
So
week.
we feel
Yeah,
like this is literally for the conference.
yeah,
Everyone else, a couple two losses here. It's like Houston, the Utahs, the Arizona States, all 4-2. So yeah, like you said, this is gonna be for the probably for the conference, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah. So we're on Texas Tech -10. Your next and final play for College Week 11, Dave.
Yeah. We're going back to Vanderbilt. Either we're on them or we're
Every
against them.
week.
Last year it was South Carolina. This year seems to be Vanderbilt. So -6.5 versus Auburn. Like we said, Auburn, Hugh Freeze fired last week after only scoring 3 points against Kentucky. There's two ways you can kind of look at, like head coach firings. Either the team rallies the next week and they play well, or they kind of just pack it in. And not that Auburn's going to pack it in here. I just think Vandy, after coming off that loss to Texas at Texas, like they're going to come out a little more motivated. I feel, and I feel like a motivation factor. And I mean, 6.5, they should be able to cover this at home.
I mean, Vanderbilt again. I think I've said it. We like Vanderbilt at home more
Yeah,
than we do on the road. They're just not a road team. Again, like we said, it was kind of misleading against Texas last week. At home, they're a different story. What are they? They had 2 losses. Vanderbilt now, right?
yeah. Bama, and then last week against Texas.
Texas. So there's still a little slimmer of hope for them with the playoff. If like other SEC teams lose out, they're gonna need help, obviously.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think when you have that factor where you can be like, hey guys, like the coach is telling them, hey guys, like we still have an outside chance. If we get a little help, like so there's motivation there. They're not gonna. It's not like it was a dream crusher scenario for Vandy. They'll be motivated, and yeah, I just think they're better than like they overall they're just a better team than Auburn, and I think they can carry this and win by a touchdown here. I probably could see some turnovers forced by Vandy's defense as well. Auburn's offense has not looked great, and Jackson Arnold just kind of yeah, there's a reason like Oklahoma got rid of him, so he kind of showed it this year. Not the biggest fan of his, to be honest. He just hasn't really done a lot this season to make Auburn like a formidable offense to keep up. Anything else on that?
Yeah, just take a quick look at the standings. There's 6 teams ahead of Vanderbilt in the
Oh,
SEC
okay.
right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously the A&M, the Bamas that are undefeated.
Mm.
3-1 loss, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas, and then you got Oklahoma 3-2, and then there's Vanderbilt 3-2. So
Hey, you never know,
you
man.
never know.
It's SEC. Teams beat
Yeah,
up on each other. You never
yeah,
know. I've seen crazier stuff. Yeah. Okay. My last play, college. We're gonna go. Speaking of SEC, we're gonna go LSU plus 10 at Alabama. This is the opposite of what David is doing. I'm doing the coach firing motivation. LSU can't look much worse than they have the past few weeks. Brian Kelly's out. This is the first game without Brian Kelly. It's a huge spot. I get it. It's at Alabama. But Nussmeier's been there. This team's like they have the veteran experience. I don't think it's going to be too big of a stage. And you know what? I think they're gonna play. They may try and play spoiler here. They would love nothing more than to go to Alabama and beat them. I think this offense will get unlocked a little bit. Again, I think we've said it every week when we talked about LSU. I don't understand how they haven't been a better offense this season. They have so much talent on that side of the ball and just haven't been able to unlock it. So I think Bama's defense too has been susceptible to giving up points. I think Nussmeier will actually get some time to throw. And when you give that guy time, he's as good as anybody in the country when it comes to throwing it the rock. So 10 here, I think if Bama gets up, I think you can get a backdoor cover late. And I think LSU, yeah, I think they keep it within the number.
yeah. I lean that way as well. Just because LSU is always going to get up to play Bama.
Mhm.
The LSU team is they're too talented,
Yeah.
not to want to go to Alabama and keep this one close. I think they do. I think Bama like a lot of the times, like yeah, they can give up a lot of points, but I think a lot of the time like they've been getting outgained a lot from what I can see these stat
Hmm.
lines. So not like total like misleading stat lines. I mean, because Bama's still getting the job done and all that, but there's just something about these like rivalry games that just makes you be like 10 points. Like it kind of seems like a lot, regardless of
Yeah.
who's in there. So I'll definitely lean LSU as well.
I've noticed in DeBoer's tenure, the head coach for Bama, they kind of like when they have big spreads, they kind of play down. I've noticed that.
Yeah,
When they're the dog, they play up. But when they're like big spread favorite, they kind of play down to their competition a little bit. So yeah, I think that's
yeah.
also kind of a factor as well.
It's a lot different from like the Saban era because
Hmm.
Saban's cutthroat. Like they're gonna
Oh, dude.
put points in you here. Like you said, like Bama doesn't really have that edge. I think with this head coach.
Hmm. Okay. Those are our three plays each. David's got Kentucky plus 3, Texas Tech minus 10, Vandy minus 6.5. I got the over 48 in A&M, Missouri, Texas Tech minus 10, LSU plus 10. Those are college football week 11 bets. Let's jump to NFL week 10. We can recap real quick. David is 8-6 overall. We were all in the same plays last week. We had Texans minus 2, Bengals Bears over 52.5, Cowboys Cards over 54. We went 1-2 again, like I said. Unfortunate with the Texans, Stroud getting hurt. And the Cowboys had multiple chances to put up more points, and they had the opening
Turnovers.
drive, they went down and they went for it on fourth and goal and got stopped. And I'm like, oh, that could, yeah, that
That's usually
kind of,
you're over. You
yeah,
know right away if
yep.
something like that happens.
Exactly. So Dave's 8-6. I'm 9-9 overall. So I'm just about 500 on both sides. 10-9 and yeah, rough. But we're looking to expand here. We are both in the same place here. We each have two. I'll start us off since you started college. Kind of what we do. We're gonna go Tampa Bay minus 2.5 versus New England at home. Tampa Bay's off a bye. I think we've talked about this a little bit. We're just not sold on New England yet. We're not sold on them playing up in competition. At least the higher tier teams, which Tampa Bay is. I think Tampa Bay is healthy. They're a Super Bowl contender to me. But it's just New England has not shown that they can play up to competition yet. They've played nobody, to be honest. Their best win is Buffalo, but that was what, over a month or two ago. They just haven't shown anything to where I can trust them to go on the road and win this game outright. Like getting 2.5. I mean, pretty much a field goal. Tampa Bay, I think, will be motivated. I think they're just a better overall team. I think this will be a big game for Baker. New England's defense, they're kind of banged up. They got a little banged up last week against Atlanta. Atlanta had multiple chances to go win that game. If it wasn't for that stupid intentional grounding by Penix, they'd probably go down and kick the field goal. I mean, New England was lucky to escape with that. The guy missed the extra point. It
Yeah,
should have been tied at least 24 all. They score the touchdown and then misses the extra point, and then Atlanta gets the ball back with like 2 minutes to get to midfield, and then the intentional grounding just killed them, set them back so far. And yeah, I think Atlanta could have actually won that game, but
they probably should have, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, I do. Drake London was on fire in that game. But yeah, Tampa Bay's, I think they'll be fine here. And even with the cluster of injuries for Tampa, I think they'll get over it with this like New England's defense isn't anything spectacular. So I think they can handle it. Anyway, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I'm on this one as well. Um, the Patriots traveling, to Tampa Bay. This just a Tampa Bay just not that they're like a step above the Patriots at all or anything, but it just feels like you look at this and you're like, oh, Tampa Bay's gonna win this game.
Yeah,
Um, is Evans still hurt?
I think so. Yeah.
He's gonna be out. I mean, they
I
still got a
saw
lot of
Bucky
weapons.
Irving might be out too, but like they still have Rashad White. I don't think that's
Rashad,
as big as
yeah,
yeah,
there's more than enough weapons on this Tampa Bay team to
yeah,
to sneak with a 3 point victory. Let's be honest. Like it's not like a
yeah,
touchdown we're trying to cover here. We're just trying to
yeah,
cover 3 points. And you've said it too. The Patriots, like as a whole, their schedule hasn't been tough. Tampa Bay, they played a pretty good schedule this
yeah,
far. Very, and so it's just I get the NFL a lot more parity, but just you know, kind of going back to I think the theme of this episode, just strength of schedule, because now we
yeah,
have a lot of like bullet points to kind of like look back on, and yeah, the Patriots' best win at the Bills. Okay, conference game, it happens. They can win. That's just how it is in the conference play. But other than that, Titans, Browns, Saints,
yeah,
the Falcons last week, like they lost to the Steelers. They killed the Panthers. Like, yeah, there's not much quality here
yeah.
as opposed to the Bucks. So yeah, I just look at it. It's one of those lines you just kind of look at. You're like, okay, like just
Yeah,
Tampa Bay. Don't
and I
even
think
think
New
about it.
England. I think New England as well may go in and be like, all right, it's okay. We lost this game. Like we had, I mean, the rest of their season of the rest of their schedule is a joke. To
Yeah,
be honest, it just they're playing all bottom tier teams. I think for the most part, except I think we got to play Buffalo one more time, obviously, because they're
yeah,
in a division. But yeah, it's just other than that, they don't really. I mean, their division's a joke too. They get Miami again. You get the Jets again. Like it's a joke. So, yeah, I think New England will be fine even if they lose this game. I don't think it's the end of the world. So, yeah, we're on Tampa Bay -2.5. Our last and final play,
yeah.
Dave.
We have
Yeah.
Giants +5
Mhm.
at Chicago playing the Bears. So the Giants came off not a very good effort. Last week against the Niners at home. The Bears played one of those probably might be the game of the year to a lot of people. I think it was an
Dude,
absolute
the game was
shootout,
insane.
crazy back and forth, like so especially with the NFL, like a team has a bad performance, you kind of look too much into that. Like you can think of Pittsburgh. 2 weeks ago I had Pittsburgh played a great first half, lost to they got killed second half to the Packers, and they go on to beat the Colts next week. So it's one of those games where I think the Giants just put out a better effort. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
NFL, like you preach. People are always playing for spots, playing for jobs, playing for contracts, whatever it is, and it just seems like one of those games where you know it took, I guess, a lot at Chicago. It took a lot of them. Caleb Williams might just be Caleb Williams again.
Yeah.
He's been playing a lot better here and there, but it just seems like one of those games where maybe he has an off game. And the Giants kind of stick around when they probably shouldn't be. So
Yeah, I agree. Giants, I'm on the Giants as well with you. I mean, it's just a young team. It's not like they're not gonna be motivated. Dart's been solid.
Dart's been good.
I trust, it's crazy. I kind of trust Dart. Like, I think he can at least move the ball for this team. I'll admit it, and I admit to it, like week one, early in the season. I thought this Giants defense was gonna be a lot better. And just on paper, it has not shown up as much. San Francisco last week kind of rolled them a little bit. Like they went up and down the field on them. I was a little surprised, but I think they put a better effort here, uh, and I think they try to get their rookie QBs back here. Yeah, Bears. It's like you said, hard fought win against the Bengals, back and forth. Could see a little fatigue in the beginning with Chicago, and yeah, I think, like I said, Dable coaching for a job. I think you know, Dart wants to keep him around. I think the Giants are just, it's a young team and they're going to be feisty and scrappy, and I don't see why they don't keep this within five. I think the Bears, this might be a letdown spot a little bit for them after a big win against Cincinnati, and they're like, oh shoot, like this isn't the old Bears. We actually have an offense now, and they kind of lay an egg here. Maybe I got a feeling, and it wouldn't shock me if maybe the Giants win this outright. It wouldn't.
Yeah, especially at
Yeah,
five. It's one of
yeah,
those things where like if you kind of let them hang around a little bit, like you might find out. Like you just don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's our two plays for NFL. We got Tampa Bay -2.5, and then we got the Giants +5. Yeah, that's kind of it for the show. Anything else, David? Before we send
Yeah,
in?
I mean, not too much in the NFL world this week. Um, we'll probably see some crazy team.
Yeah.
Big underdog's been happening the last couple of weeks. You had the Panthers last week, beating Green Bay, and I think there was one more big dog that kind of upset. So it's that time of the year where these good
Minnesota was
teams,
kind of a big upset.
Minnesota, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the time of the year where some of these good teams might just lay an egg. It's one
Yeah.
of those weeks. Long season, they're not going to come out, firing on all cylinders every
Hmm.
week. So, um, but other than that, yeah, not too much in the NFL world, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Seattle looks really good. I mean, Washington, Jaden Daniels done for the season.
Do you see that injury?
Dude, nasty.
Oh,
So nasty.
I mean, he
That
probably
NFC,
shouldn't be playing either.
yeah,
It was like
yeah.
late, it was like
They were
garbage
down
time.
like
He's out there
30.
playing.
Yeah, they were down like 30. I think that NFC West might be I mean, it's funny, the two West divisions, AFC and NFC, probably the best races, like
Yeah,
for division titles, you know? You got the Rams, Niners, and I don't know how the Niners are doing it, by the way. It's amazing. It's
yeah.
impressive.
They're
With all
missing
the
half their
injuries.
team, and they come out
Yeah.
every week and just win games they're probably not supposed to on paper.
Yeah. And then Denver just keeps finding a way to win. Chargers are one game back. Chiefs are now 2 games back because they lost. So kind of those two divisions are I'm been keeping my eye on. The rest of the divisions are kind of, I guess, Buffalo and New England. But other than that, there's like teams are kind of running away with it. Colts are pretty much have that division, I think, locked up.
Yeah,
It's just yeah. So
barring like
uh
injury or whatever it might be.
yeah, I think Tampa's got theirs locked up. NFC South, that's pretty much done. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. That's kind of what to keep an eye out on. Just these division races. But yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll look at the schedule next week. Hopefully it's a better week. We can find
Yeah,
better games. Because this week was just it was tough. It's
it
tough
was.
finding even 2 games. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's all it is in a long season. So
Yeah, we look into it. We don't just go, hey, play it. Like, we gotta look into it. So, break it down. All right. That's Winners Get Money. Again, James Myers, my boy David Rano. We'll see you next week, guys. Appreciate you tuning in, and good luck.